Hey there, my name is Josh Martinez, and this is Draw My Life. This is my first time filming any Draw My Life video, so please bear with the quality. This whole project is done in two different perspectives, one in American terms and one in Panamanian terms. Unless stated specifically, all information is overlaps between the two. As a brief introduction of myself, I'm Jose de Jesus Martinez-Mandiche, but I go by Josh. I was born in Panama City, Panama, on September 18, 1992, and have traveled with my dad, Jose Martinez Gonzalez, and my mother, Manitza-Mandiche de Martinez, across the Americas for as long as I can remember. No, literally, since I was born practically. Currently, my dad serves as the alternate ambassador of Panama to the Organization of American States in their Washington, D.C. offices, while my mother serves as a second secretary to the exact same office. A good chunk of the information I'm about to present comes either directly from them or resources made available through their office. Meanwhile, the remaining percentage ranges from simple Google or Wikipedia searches to scholarly articles attached to my works cited page. Funny what a little bit of research can do, huh? Anyways, where do I begin? How about the country itself? When I attended high school in Panama, it was St. Mary's School in Panama, I was taught that originally Panama was owned by Spain, and we fought for independence, and we gained said independence back in November 10th of 1821. Shortly after, as an independent nation, we voluntarily joined what became known as the Gran Colombia, along with Venezuela, Ecuador, and northern Peru. Though the remaining other countries listed had managed their own separate independence way before we did, our attempts from separating from Colombia were pretty unsuccessful at first until the U.S. had supported Panama and its separation from Colombia, and we became once again an independent nation in November 3rd, 1903. Now, what does all of this have to do with the canal? Upon gaining its independence, Panama had signed a treaty, the High Bunau-Varilla Treaty, that allowed the U.S. to act as a sovereign nation, merely act as a sovereign nation, not a sovereign nation itself, in the 5-mile radius that became known as the Canal Zone. Since the French had taken the project of building the canal back in 1819, but proving unsuccessful, the U.S. formally took control of the project in May of 1904, shortly after assisting Panama gain its separation from Colombia. With the High Bunau-Varilla Treaty, the U.S. had agreed a rental fee of the land of about $250,000 annually and up to $10 million from the U.S. government. From 1904 onwards, all was well in the divided regions. The U.S. had stationed troops and workers, along with a few Panamanian workers, to work on the construction of the canal, that was finally inaugurated on October 10, 1913, under President Wilson. But it did not have its first official transit until August 15, 1914. After fears of war and enemy takeover, the U.S. allowed the construction of 3 safety locks in place where the actual locks are, the Gatun, Pedro, Miguel, and Miraflores gates, for heightened safety. But this project was later abandoned in 1941. More about those locks later. During World War II, there was no Lend-Lease agreement between Panama and the U.S., but Panama did allow the U.S. to build coastal artilleries on both ends of the isthmus surrounding the canal, and fortified the strengths into 3 locks, for exchange of public works construction within Panama. Post-World War II, however, the canal zone encountered problems on January 9, 1964. In Panamanian history, this is referred to as El Día de los Mártires, or in English, Martyrs' Day, and this incident involved the death of 21 Panamanian civilians. But, be it through tear gas or shootings, it was all over a dispute. Students had planned on raising the flag of Panama on the canal zone, and the U.S. retaliated violently. 4 U.S. soldiers were killed in the revolts. This event later inspired in 1977 the Torrijos-Carter Treaties, which eventually abolished the Canal Zone and the High Bunau-Varilla Treaty. The first of the 2 Torrijos-Carter Treaties is known as the Treaty Concerning the Permanent Neutrality and Operation of the Panama Canal, which is wildly misunderstood. Many think this means that it allowed the U.S. to place naval bases in return for Panama control of the canal. However, this is actually a series of regulations held upon the canal to maintain neutrality to all regions, fair prices to all regions in terms of operations of the canal. Panama having no military, this first treaty does allow the US to send troops or defenses to the canal in the case of a terrorist attack or a non-neutral invader. The second treaty, the Panama Canal Treaty, allowed Panama the full control of the Panama Canal and became primarily responsible for its defense at 12 p.m. on December 31st, 1999. This also relinquished all buildings and infrastructures of the canal zone over to the Panamanian Authority. From then, control went fully of the canal, that is, fully to the Autoridad del Canal de Panamá, abbreviated ACP, or in English, the Panama Canal Authority. This inauguration was celebrated in front of many proud Panamanians, myself included, in front of our administration building, where our then president, Mireya Moscoso, gave a brief speech about it. There has been absolutely no U.S. involvement nor operations since December 31st, 1999. Having worked at the Smithsonian Tropical Research Institution back in 2012, it offers a 5-minute drive from the Miraflores Gate, which is a very large tourist attraction for people that want to go see how the Panama Canal works and how it operates. Having been behind the scenes and having been with my uncle who retired very recently from working at the Panama Canal, the many Panamanian operators, because when you go in there and you see the people on the sort of little boats that are moving around, you hear them speaking Spanish and Panamanian accents. They have so successfully maintained positively working within the canal. Additionally, the ACP has been working on many projects to reduce water wastage within the canal, tourist expansions, and the expansion of the canal has begun back in 2006. This picks up where the 1941 project left off. Though the planning began in 2006, the first detonation for the project, which was widely televised in Panama, occurred in 2008, under the president Martinez-Mandiche. The expansion is estimated to culminate mid-2015, just a few months past the centennial celebration, because originally it was planned on finishing during the centennial celebration. However, present day, the canal offers many tourist attractions alike and revenues a hearty profit.